So I titled this video, Your Mama, Your Daddy Didn't Teach You, So What? Teach Yourself. So many people always say that, hey man, my mama didn't teach me, my daddy didn't teach me, oh, we didn't know, we weren't shown that, it goes back to slavery days, like wherever it is, it's just this constant of bringing up the past. And I'll just be like, look, if you want to be successful, you have to move forward. You know, you have to be okay with whatever it was with the past, because you can't change it, but you can't change how your future will look. I do understand that I didn't expect my grandmother to teach me financial literacy, because my grandmother's the one that raised me. Some people could be your mother, your grandmother, your aunt, or whoever it is that was raised by you. But you have to understand that was a different day and time for them. You know what I mean? A lot of times you have to look at their life. They probably did the best that they could. So for me, I know my grandmother worked at the post office, right, for many years, and she retired there. For over 30 something years. But I do understand that was the shit back in her day. Being with the post office was the shit. Like, that was the thing to be in. You get what I mean? That was a government job. It was considered a good job, a high paying job for that particular time. Now we could debate whether that is or not now, but back then that's what that was. You get what I'm saying? The same thing with my mom. My mom had her own problems and things that she was dealing with in the 80s and late 80s, early 90s and stuff, being a young mom herself, and things not working out with my father. You get what I mean? So it was so much going on in their own life that I have to look back and say, man, you know what? How would they know? There's no way they would have known, because they didn't have access to the information that we have access to. You literally had to look in encyclopedias. You had to go to the library, the local library. And it depends on what kind of books was in your library. What kind of friends did they have? You know, did they have the party friends? Like, if they grew up in the hood, they have friends that just parlayed, chilled, partied, you know, got drunk, did drugs, had sex. That was just the thing, you know, back in the day. You get what I mean? So, I mean, can financial literacy really come from them like that? You get what I mean? And then when you talking about when you was born in the 80s, you know, if you will, we're like the last generation, like late 80s, maybe early 90s, mid 90s. We was really the last generation to play outside, right? To get out, the scrape our knee, have you know, marks on our legs and stuff. You know what I mean? Bruises because we fell down. We went in a tree. We climbed the trees. We played in the mud. We rode bikes and, you know, scooters and stuff. And, you know, we just did everything. We was like really reckless outside. Things that we don't even allow our kids to do like nowadays, because we so overprotective and shit like that. Not me, but you guys. You know, I let my kids, you know, have a little bit of what I did back in the day. But the thing is the fact that I had to learn financial literacy myself, man. I had to learn how to fix my credit. Even though people say, oh, we didn't know about credit. Yeah, we didn't know. Maybe we didn't know about credit like that, but we did know not to fuck it up, right? We did hear that part. You get what I mean? Like, we may not have been educated about sex, right? We may not have been educated about sex like that, but we knew to at least wrap up and protect yourself. And we knew it was diseases out there and shit like that, right? So you have to think about it. But when it come to credit, right, we knew not to fuck it up. We didn't probably know how to build it. We didn't know trade lines. We didn't know none of this stuff. We didn't know exactly how to really do that shit. But we knew, like, not to fuck it up. But guess what we did? We fucked it up anyway, right? So I always just tell people, man, like you have to get out there and you have to fuck up. Like, no matter how much you would have learned, if they taught you in school and all that shit there. Remember, man, if they taught financial literacy in school, like I think now Florida passed a law to where they teach it in school, and we all clapping and we happy, but I'm just telling you what's going to happen, right? In school, it's going to fall on deaf ears, just like most of the shit we guys, like, it's going to fall on deaf ears like everything else. Like, you know what I mean? It's going to fall on deaf ears like science. It's going to fall on deaf ears like geography, geometry, or PE and all, and driver's ed and all that other stuff, because just quite frankly, when we hear something, we tend to value things that we experienced negatively first, right? So the reason why we value financial literacy so much now is because we fucked up so much. Like, you wouldn't have got it off the bat. Like, even when people say, if I know then what I know now, you wouldn't have known then. because you didn't have the mental capacity to even deal with that shit. You found out when you were supposed to find out because you were looking for it. You were aware of it then. There's so many things and so many distractions in the world that pull you so many different ways, but there's certain things that you recognize the first time you see it, right? So for us, that might be financial literacy, right? But our mama wasn't going to teach us that. Like, what's she going to teach us? To save money or put your money in real estate? Even if our moms taught us that, we wouldn't have did it off of it. We still would have did things the way we saw fit. We usually tend to do things that our friends are involved in and do, right? If our friends want to go out to the club, that's what we partake in, right? If our friends want to go out to the beach or go on a vacation, that's what we hang out with our friends. We don't be listening to what our moms say and our dad say like that. Like, we value their stuff, but we still live our own life through our own experiences, right? So we even say, Mom, that's your experience. Let me live my life how I want to live my life, because we think that living our life recklessly is fun. It is what it is. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm just stating the fucking facts. Like, it is what it is, dog. So when it comes to financial literacy, credit, money management, investments and stuff, those are things that you see value in now because you older and you recognize and you fucked off money before. So you know what not to do with the money. But you had to get that experience first. People think that the rich just make all these great decisions and this one great decision after another. The reason why I can be a part of conversations with people that's worth 9 figures and 10 figures and stuff like that is not because I'm on these people level as far as money wise, or I did some of the same things they did out of life. How did they have me around? It's because I understand the struggle of it, right? I understand the perseverance. I understand moving on, and I'm a breath of fresh air. I bring in a different sense of energy. You know what I mean? I'm not around pointing the finger and say, you did this. That's the reason why I'm not ahead, because of you guys and this and that. No, I take responsibility of my own fucking life, dog. You get what I mean? And I think that's something that people fucking lack, is you don't take responsibility of your own life. You so busy pointing the fingers at other fucking people. Like, it's like, oh, they did this, or my mama didn't teach me, or I'm like this because of my mom and she left me, and my dad, I didn't have my dad there, and I grew up without a father. It's like, look, it's not your fault that happened to you, but it's your responsibility to know how to cope and deal with that trauma and move forward. The only reason why I got into investing is because I realized I was making money and I didn't have nothing to show for it. I had some of the stuff that people deem that's like hood rich, but I didn't have nothing else, any significance. You get what I mean? So I had to look deep down to myself and tell you why you're not further ahead, why you are not where you want to be, why you haven't experienced some of the life that you would like to live. You get what I mean? But that took me to look at myself and see what the fuck I was doing wrong. You get what I mean? So I couldn't put the onus on my mama or my grandmother or my dad or anybody else. It's my life. I have to take control of my life and do the right things necessary to move forward. And in those things, you're going to learn lessons. And the lessons are going to be some L's. It's going to be some losses because it's new. You're figuring it out. That's the thing. You can learn as much as you want to learn. Nothing beats experience. But the only thing that I could tell people when people ask me about where I am and how to get to where I am, the only difference between you and I is the fact that I just took some chances that you may not have taken a little bit early. I took some risks early on that some people deemed as crazy, but I said, fuck it. If I lose, I lose. I be telling people, I don't know half of the shit I have done in some of the things or risks that I have taken. But I just did it and just said, you know what? I'm doing this and I'm going to just put it in God's hands. I'm going to put it in the higher power and whoever it is that you believe in. I'm going to do it, man. And I don't know what's going to come of this, but I know I made the right decision because I usually go with my gut feeling. You get what I mean? And some of the decisions was wrong. I was dead wrong. But I lived with that and I moved on. Like, I literally moved on. Because one guy told me, one of my guys, he worth about $5 billion or whatever. And I remember he told me, Terrence, like, you don't have to be right all the time. You just got to be right one time. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to win 100% of your day. As long as you win 66% of your day, 75% of your day, that's still a passing grade. It may not be an A, but at least you will pass your way in life, right? You know what I mean? Sometimes you may get an A, sometimes you may get an F, but it may go into an average of a C. Like, you're not gonna perfect everything. Everything is not gonna be perfect. Like, y'all have to learn to live your life the way you see fit and start making decisions. You know what I mean? Like, if you've been making bad decisions, you know what I'm saying? At least you've been making some decisions. All you got to do is make some good decisions. And then once you have those good decisions, they will start to compound. You get what I mean? Compound, good decision after good decision after good decision after good decision. And before you know it, you have wins. And another thing that you guys have to do, you guys have to learn to get around winners. Get around people that every time you talk, it don't sound like you bragging. You guys got to hang out with more people that look like your future than your past. Stop feeling obligated to people because you hung out with them. You grew up with them. You stayed around the corner from them. They was your next door neighbor. You went to high school with them. They're your coworker. Whatever. You have to start hanging with people that look more like what you want to be and who you want to become. You know what I mean? And trust me, you're gonna find some commonalities. Like, you're gonna find some things that you have in common that you don't even realize you have in common. It's times I can't even have lunch or dinner with people from my past because if you tell me about your life, right? If you be like, hey, I'm like, man, how you been, man? You know, just maintaining, you know, this, that, and the third. Yeah, I've been dealing with this. I've been going through this. I don't even want to tell you what the fuck been going on with my life because now it's going to sound like I'm bragging. All I'm just telling you what's been going on with me. Now I have to find some shit. Like, now I got to dig deep into, like, damn, how can I relate to this person? And the only thing I can do is talk about the past now. What we did in high school, what we did on the block, which is sometimes it is fun to sit back and reflect on those things and like, man, we were wilding as kids. But I be want to talk about what's going on now today. How's the family and what investments do you have? What business have you started? Did you get a promotion at your job? Do you get a new job? Have you moved? Did you buy a house? Did you get you a new car? Did you buy some new clothes? Did you go shopping? Did you have you and your kids took a vacation? I can't even talk about that shit because it sounds like motherfucker is bragging and shit. And it's like, nah, I'm just telling you what's going on with my life. Then guess what happens? Oh man, this motherfucker bragging about his life. And now it sounds like you bragging. That's why you got to hang around people that look more like your future than your past. But you guys don't, you don't want to have that conversation. You guys got all these friends that you could drink with, that you could smoke with, you could club with, you could maybe even vacation with, right? But how many friends can you call to the business table and say, let's discuss some business, and not just discuss it, actually move and act on it? You pull 10,000, I pull 10,000, and we start this together, right? Egos to the side. I don't expect you to have all of the paperwork and all of the lawyers involved. It's just moving on some shit, right? How many people in your phone that you can call and say, hey, man, hey, let's do this business deal together. Hey, lend some money on this real estate. You know, I got this deal for you or whatever, that don't think you trying to get over on them. Like, I used to have to spend so much time convincing motherfuckers that what I'm doing and how I'm helping them, but they looking at it as like, oh, what's in it for you? What's in it for you? Or what you got up there your sleeve? Or why you call me? Why, like, bro, nowadays I hang with people, all they hear is, I want to be in business with Taryn. Not saying every business deal panned out, because it didn't. Some businesses I launched, it failed. Like, it fell flat on its face. I moved, don't even make people make you feel like you have to have it all figured out. Or I got to be a millionaire by 30. I need to have a house by 40. I need to have my dream house. Like, look, remove the age limit, right? You know, and just focus on, just set goals, set 3-month goals, 6-month goals. You know what I mean? Just be consistent. You get what I mean? There are people that didn't have it all figured out, and then they built their dream house at 40. They built their dream house at 50, and they got the life they want to live. But meanwhile, while you were 27, you ran circles around their ass. You had the better job. You had the better income. You had all this shit. And then that's, you know, they had a slingshot. They zoom right past your ass because it's timing. Sometimes things haven't happened for you because of timing. You didn't give it enough time yet. Let the world still working. Like, I always tell my mentees this, and the people that I coach this. I always tell my students and the people that I coach and mentor is the fact that stop looking at money as the end all and be all. Remove the currency for a second. Remove it. We know what the ultimate goal is. The ultimate goal is for you to make as much money as possible. We know that. We understand that. We get that, right? Okay, cool. It's the other stuff that come before that, before the money. Because what's going to happen is you're going to find yourself working for money all over again, and it's not a good feeling. One thing I've noticed with my successful friends or associates or the people that I'm around, they never talk about money. There's nothing to even talk about with the money. It's all the other stuff. It's infrastructure. It's taking care of the customer, happy employees, paying your employees well. You get what I mean? It's all the other things that make up the business that generates the money. So if I open a car wash today, right? Let me just go on with a car wash. That's the first thing that came to my head. I'm not focused on what I can charge people. I'm gonna charge them $50. If I got $50 a car and I do 10 cars, that's $500 for the day. I don't think like that, right? Now you can put all that on paper. That's one part of it, but I need to figure out how to be the best car wash guy in a neighborhood. How can I get these 10 customers? Okay, it's all in my mind that, okay, now I need 10 cars. Now I need to find out how to get these cars. But I need to start one car at a time, right? So the one car that come in, I'm going to say, hey, if you come in and if you refer 3 people to me, your next car wash is free, right? Right? So I'm just coming up with strategic ways to bring the customers or being the client's enemy so I can get the 10 cars and make the $500 a day. Make sense? You notice anytime I post anything, even though it's long as fuck, I do get it, but I just try to drive home a point, because the point ain't the fucking picture. It ain't the Lamborghini that I'm sitting on. It ain't the chain that I got on my fucking neck. You get what I mean? It ain't the watch I have on my fucking wrist. It's about the caption. It's about the substance. The pictures is nothing to grab your fucking attention, because if I post it in front of a Honda Accord, you wouldn't give a fuck. So I do understand that that's just to grab you in. Once I got you in, let's have a real ass talk about how to move forward, how to build money, how to build wealth for your family. But the shit start with you and holding yourself accountable, and you taking accountability for where you are. So if you can say, hey man, it's my fault, man, that's on me. That's on me, dog. Nah, you know what? That relationship that failed, that was on me. That business, that was on me. I should have known better. As long as you could put it on you, because you can't change nobody else, but you could change you. You could change how you view it. You could change how you take it in. You could change, your perspective on it, right? And it feels good because it shows growth. And understand, like, when people ask, are you happy? Or look, man, be human. Some days you're going to be down. Some days you ain't going to feel like it. It's going to be, look, I'm a firm believer that people don't have bad days, they have bad moments. And when they have bad moments, it could translate into a tired day. So if you could say, hey man, you know what, I'm not letting this moment fuck up the rest of my day, you could then move forward. That's when you take the power and the venom out of that situation, and then you move forward. You are what you attract. If you trap flies, you should be probably hang around shit. I'm just being quite honest. Like, many people think they deserve more out of life, and they deserve this kind of spouse, they deserve this kind of income, they deserve this kind of life. But then when you look at their life is not congruent to what it is that they want. It's kind of almost feel like a level of entitlement. You have to work to get that shit. You got to become somebody different. When I didn't have no money and I didn't have it like that, I used to try to figure out, like, damn, why these people got this much money but they continue working. And all of the broke ass motherfuckers, oh, if I had that money, I wouldn't work. I don't want my kids to work. I don't want this. Man, the most successful people I know, everybody work. The wife working, like maybe be a housewife, but she might have a charitable foundation that's for the family, or she may have her own thing going on. The kids, their job is to do well in school, bring home nothing but A's. Like, successful people are very, very demanding. They don't like laziness. They don't like entitlement. They don't like none of that. That's how I know it's a disconnect between us, where we grew up, in them, and how they grew up, or that side of the track, man, because the mentalities are different. The mentalities are so fucking different. And I'm not saying that they got it right, we got it wrong, or we right, they wrong. I'm not saying that, but there's a distinctive difference that I can see. in the way they live the life, in the life I grew up knowing. You get what I mean? So when I see people like, oh, I'm tired of working and I'm tired of working, when I hear that, I just hear laziness. You tired of working? Well, I'm tired of working for somebody and this, that, and the third. Change it. Change it. What do you want to start? What business do you want to start? What do you want to do? How you on the road? Do you have Gucci shoes on? Do you got Louis Vuitton sneakers? Do you have, like success requires some form of sacrifice. You don't have to sacrifice all the time, but cut out some shit. I'm not going out this weekend. Start with one weekend. When your boys call you or your girls call you, I'm not going out this weekend. Hey, girl, we going on the vacation this year. We going on Aruba. We finna go to Vegas. Hey, girl, I'm not going. I'm staying there. It has nothing to do with you having no money. Sometimes those are the moments that challenge you. That's when you know you're starting to become somebody different. When you realize that phone call, you stay your ass in the house. And you be productive. And they don't get that. And they don't understand that. And they think you tripping. You realize, man, girl, I got to go somewhere, dog. I'm trying to get somewhere, bro. I'm trying to focus, dog. I got to lock in. You cannot continue to do what the fuck you doing and think that you're going to get what you want. It does not work that way. You got to become somebody fucking different. You got to become a better version of you. You got to become the best version of yourself. When I didn't have no money and I didn't have it like that, I used to try to figure out, like, damn, you know, why these people got this much money, but they continue working. And all of the broke-ass motherfuckers, oh, if I had that money, I wouldn't work. I don't want my kids to work. I don't want this. Man, the most successful people I know, everybody work. The wife working, like maybe be a housewife, but she might have a charitable foundation that's for the family, or she may have her own thing going on. The kids, their job is to do well in school, bring home nothing but A's. Successful people are very, very demanding. They don't like laziness. They don't like entitlement. They don't like none of that. That's how I know it's a disconnect between us, where we grew up, and them, and how they grew up, or that side of the track, man, because the mentalities are different. The mentalities are so fucking different. And I'm not saying that they got it right, we got it wrong, or we right, they wrong. I'm not saying that. But there's a distinctive difference that I can see in the way they live the life, in the life I grew up knowing. You get what I mean? So when I see people like, oh, I'm tired of working and I'm tired of working, when I hear that, I just hear laziness. You tired of working? Well, I'm tired of working for somebody and this, that, and the third. Change it. Change it. What do you want to start? What business do you want to start? What do you want to do? How you on the road? Do you have Gucci shoes on? Do you got Louis Vuitton sneakers? Do you have, like success requires some form of sacrifice. You don't have to sacrifice all the time, but cut out some shit. I'm not going out this weekend. Start with one weekend. When your boys call you or your girls call you, I'm not going out this weekend. Hey, girl, we going on the vacation this year. We going on Aruba. We finna go to Vegas. Hey, girl, I'm not going. I'm staying there. It has nothing to do with you having no money. Sometimes those are the moments that challenge you. That's when you know you're starting to become somebody different. When you realize that phone call, you stay your ass in the house. And you be productive. And they don't get that. And they don't understand that. And they think you tripping. But you realize, man, girl, I got to go somewhere, dog. I'm trying to get somewhere, bro. I'm trying to focus, dog. I got to lock in. You cannot continue to do what the fuck you doing and think that you're going to get what you want. It does not work that way. You got to become somebody fucking different. You got to become a better version of you. You got to become the best version of yourself. Even when you think you're the best version of yourself, you're going to be so used to getting better that the best version of you today is going to be trash 3 years from now. You're responsible for your life. You get what I mean? It ain't your mama's fault. It ain't your daddy's fault. It ain't your uncle them fault. That trauma that you dealt with, dog, you have to know how to, deal with that, heal from that, so you can move on and become the best adult version of yourself, dog. Execution, man. Execution. Like, you have to learn that. You have to earn the right to feel good about yourself. Like, you feel good about yourself when you accomplish something. When you haven't accomplished nothing, I understand why you don't feel good. You haven't accomplished anything. You haven't done anything. But if you say, you know what, man, today I'm finna get out the house. I'm finna go to Starbucks. And I'm just finna Google and research stuff. I'm finna read me a book. I'm finna go to Bloomberg. I'm finna go to Forbes. I'm finna go to Black Enterprise. I'm finna go, do something other than Shade Room. Do something other than Hollywood Unlocked. Do something other than gossip. Do something constructive. Do something You know, start watching TV. Get off the news. Like, get away from all of the distractions and just lock in. Lock in and compound it. You will find it so interesting, and it'll be so fun when you learn new things. It was so fucking fun, dog. It was so fun to learn something new. And then I felt so played. I'm like, damn, why I didn't know this? I took notes and I started executing. I say, damn, let me try that. Let me try this. Let me try that. Like, nothing wrong with trying. Try it. See what happens. Give yourself some time. Give yourself a few months. Try it. Go hard at it for 3 months. See what happens. See if you like it. If you don't like it, you could. That's the thing of being human. You can move on. You can move on and try something else. Okay, cool. Let me do this. Shit, let me do this. And then before you know it, you're going to find something that you like and that you adore and that you're very passionate about. And then you're going to find a way to make money off of it. It's really, really simple. And that's not overcomplicated. You get what I mean?